us to be here in your area, to have been able to develop and build a project like we have, unique in the world, I can tell you that. There's not many wind farms actually in this operational environment, wind conditions like we experience every day. We feel privileged and we are honored that we are actually a guest in your community. I'm also humble because we are only trying to do the best we can. We are not here to be the saints or whatever. We are running a business, we are producing power, and we are doing this in your area, with your people. All of my colleagues, except 1% of our total labor force, workforce, is coming from this area and the rest of Kenya. 85% of our employees are from this area. So it can only be expected from us to do the right thing. As Felix already mentioned, why are we here? Why do we do this? It's not because we have to. It's not because the law tells us to do this. It's because we want to do this. So we are humbled with all the expressions of gratitude from all of you. From the DCC, from the MCAs, from the County Director of Education in Marsabit. So thank you very much for recognizing that. We are very, very appreciative. I want to speak to the County Director of Education actually, because I think it's a very bad idea to return money to the government. I think there's a big need in this area, and I quite like the statements you made yourself, the DCC made, that we are complementing the government's efforts. So you have our commitment to, we wanna sit down with you and have a discussion on the funding you have available and see what can be done with that and how we can combine the effort together with us. So I would not suggest that you refund or return the money to Nairobi. I do not hope that your colleagues in Nairobi are upset with me, but I think you should keep it here, and then we try to make a plan. So you have our commitment on that, because I think that's a very tangible initiative, or very tangible thing you have there. The purpose of the program actually has been discussed. I mean, that's another humbling element. To be able to feed 13,000 of your children every day for the entire term this year is something special. It's something which actually makes us a little bit emotional, I must say, because to have the privilege of doing this is something else. So we are looking at this term. I do hope that the situation will improve. I do hope perhaps that the government is able to fund some additional money into the food program so that our supplementary actions are not necessary anymore. But of course, I mean, this is not a sustainable program on the side of, we are a company by the end of the day. It's called emergency food relief. And emergency food relief means that it's not sustained food relief. So I also would like to mitigate or manage your expectations a little bit in this regard. But if the needs are there, and they continue to be there, and are as dire as they are today, then obviously we cannot turn our back to the situation and say, well, that was it, we have done what we had to do, thank you very much, and off we go. That's not who we are, that's not what we do. I am actually very happy that we have many guests also here today who have not been here before. So there's a lot of discussions and conversations ongoing in the area as to what we do as a project, what it looks like, and all that. And I also would like, for those of you who have not been here before, I mean, you now have been here. Just share what you've seen with your fellow community members and in your constituency. We are an open and transparent organization. We are an open and transparent project. That's what we are today, and that's what we want to be in the future as well. We will have actually, let's call it a plenary discussion or a Q&A or whatever you like to call it. I mean, we can continue with that immediately after this. I will answer your questions as they have arisen. And but I would like to thank you all once again. Because actually the rollout of this program cannot be done without you. Because, and again, I quite like that word. We are supplementing what the government is doing already. If the government is not always able to fulfill all the needs, then yes, we can be called on, and we will support where we can. again, we are a company, we are not the government itself, so we are also limited in what we can do. We are limited in our means to a certain extent. Where we can help, we will. That is the unconditional commitment of Lake Turkana to the area. So thank you very much once again. We will have, it has been actually quite a long, it has been a bit of a morning, so we'll shortly after the plenary session we will have some coffee and tea and something small to eat, and then of course you're all invited to join us for lunch later on. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for helping us rolling out this program today.